Hey everybody, happy Wednesday, the 13th. I took my glasses off because the lights just reflect off of them, but I can't see a thing without them. We are happy to welcome you to Coffee and a Card. I have some vanilla something something, Cameron's. I just ran it through my Keurig. If you are sipping on a hot beverage or a cold beverage, I'm going to scooch this up. Put in the comments what you're having this morning. This is my second cup of coffee, so I made it decaf. I normally have Coffee and a Card at 2 p.m. on Wednesdays, but my life has just kind of changed a little bit, so we're jumping around a lot, and I am having it at 11 a.m. today. I don't know that this will be my permanent time frame for Coffee and a Card. It probably will not be, but I'm kind of enjoying these morning lives, so we'll see how it goes. Monday we made a three-dimensional project. We made this cute little crate. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's got kind of a wood embossed shape to the brown crate, and then we attached some stamped and die-cut fall leaves, and I filled it with a little cello bag of Chex dark chocolate mix. I thought dark chocolate went really well with our early espresso crate, and I thought these would be really fun to set out on a Thanksgiving table, or just to gift a coworker, or a little party favor for your Thanksgiving dinner guests as they leave or at their place setting. If you're here, please say hello. Like I said before, love to chat with you. If you're drinking a hot beverage or a cold beverage, let us know. I'm having, this is vanilla something, pretty good with cream. I'm one of those that have a little coffee with their cream. I like a good half and half. But I don't very often use the flavored half and halves. I'm a kind of a purist, so I use just plain old half and half. Hi, Donna Pollock. Nice to see you today. I'm going to switch the camera around. We're going to do that. There I am in the corner. This is the little interactive card we're doing today. This is a Halloween card. This is my first Halloween card this season. I did make a candy corn box, which is kind of Halloweenish, and I have a card. I'll grab that right here. A candy corn card for Halloween. So I guess this is not my first Halloween card. I would like the Starbucks Misto. Is that, Donna, is that like a creamer, or is that a drink from Starbucks? I'm there a lot. My mom's rehab place where she's getting PT is right next door to Starbucks. So I spend about 3 hours a week. It's half milk. Okay, I'll try it the next time I'm there. I know Starbucks, they have all these really fancy recipes. And I'm sometimes embarrassed to order something because I'm like, I would like this with this with this. You know, some people, one pump of this, one. So I am not an aficionado yet. This is my favorite little thing of the little spider, and then I've got a witch's hat, and then I've got this grumpy little cat down at the bottom. I was going to do a black cat, but it just didn't show up against my black designer series paper, so I did a pumpkin pie cat. So he's an orange, do they call him an orange tabby cat? So this is the card we're going to make today. Really fun. Here's another card that I made using the Give It a Whirl dies. I made this at the beginning of summer. So I've just turned it into a Halloween card. So you will need to make this card, the Give It a Whirl dies. These are so fun. I really bought the set for the clouds. I really love those die cut clouds, and I wanted them. And I just saw this stamp set. It's called Clever Cats. It's just a standalone stamp set, which are fun sometimes. And I'm going to make a sample of using this little cat for Christmas. So be on the lookout for that. I started it this morning, and I didn't have time before we got started this morning. But be on the lookout for a sample using this little cat peeking out of the box. He's not a little cat. He's a fat cat. Okay, and then I'm also using the Designer Series paper, Cute Halloween 6x6 papers. These are really sweet, and they coordinate with the punch that is on back order right now. I think you can still order the punch. I'll have to check that, but it's got, it would cut the ghosts out, and these cute little kitty cat faces and pumpkin faces. So the paper coordinates with that punch beautifully. Look at these bats. The pink. That's perfect for my granddaughters. I'm using more of the darker. There's one that isn't necessarily Halloween. And the papers are two-sided. The opposite sides are black and white, or basic gray and white. So really good for this time of year. So if you don't want to necessarily use them for Halloween, the back sides are great for other cards. So I'm using a piece of thick basic white. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4 to make my card base. And then I just took a piece of Designer Series paper that's 4 1/4 by 5.5, and I'm going to adhere it right onto the card front. It doesn't show much, but I really like that kind of striped background underneath my my Give It a Whirl. I'm using some multi-purpose liquid glue to glue that right on the front of the card. That's cute. We could just stamp a little cat and cut him out and put him on there, and you're good to go. But we're going to dress it up a little bit with these dies. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take a piece of 4 1/4 by 5.5 basic white cardstock and 4 1/4 by 5.5 of the Designer Series paper. This is a different pattern, and I'm going to glue these together, and then we're going to run them through the die machine. The Stamp and Cut and Emboss. Okay, so of the dies, the Give It a Whirl dies, this is the one I want. This is the top die. It's got the little cutout so that you can twirl the wheel, and then it's got the little hole. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it out before I cut this window in. It just makes me nervous to do them both at the same time, but I think you could probably very easily well, you couldn't really, because you have to line up the die. So never mind. You couldn't easily do it. So I'm going to line this up. My paper says boo everywhere in different fonts. It's really cute. And I wanted to show off my brand new plates. I got brand new plates with my shipment. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm just using some, this tape is low tack tape. I just get it from Amazon. It just helps keep things in place when I'm die cutting. Okay, we're done with this die, but now we want to make our window. And that big square die made a little tiny hole right there. That's where our brad is going to go. That's the little mechanism that will make it so that we can twirl our card. And I am using the biggest window. The set comes with a heart, really cute, a circle, a little, if you're going to put sentiments on there, a little, what would you call that, rectangle. So there's several options, but I need the biggest one for my hat, mainly for my big fat wide pumpkin there. So what I'm going to do is line this hole up with the one that's already here. And I'm going to kind of do it over here to the right hand side of the card. And we're going to run that through. There we go. So there's our little window. And I forgot to mention, I adhered the DSP to the basic white just to give it a little bit more stability, because I don't know if it's necessary, but since this is kind of going to get a little bit of tension all the time, I just thought I like to add the little extra piece of cardstock on the back. Okay, now we're going to do our wheel. We're doing a lot of die cutting today. So this piece is the magic that goes behind the window. And so I've just taken a piece of, I believe this is 4x4 basic white cardstock. And you probably can't see it, but there are little embossed triangles on here. So that's kind of my guide. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's my guide to where to stamp my images. So I'm going to pull out my inks. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black, Pumpkin Pie, and Gorgeous Grape. So on one of these little triangles, I want my little pumpkin. Let's twirl my pumpkin over here so you can see. And I am going to put there's a little image for the interior of the pumpkin. So I'm going to stamp that first. I don't know if it matters. Right in the center of that triangle. And then I'm going to take the outline image with my tuxedo black and stamp right over top. Just like that. Then we're going to go over here to our other little triangle and do our witch's hat. And I'm doing that in Gorgeous Grape. And then I took a little basic black Stampin' down here where y'all can't see. Stampin' Right marker, because I just thought this hat needed a band. So I'm going to kind of just go right over top of this Gorgeous Grape with my basic black Stampin' Right marker. And then I took my Bumblebee Stampin' Right marker and colored in the little buckle. So that's what I did for her, or for that hat, the witch's hat. Now I've got one last triangle, and I'm going to use, put these little spiders. I think I'm going to put my spider first. I want it to be for sure be in the window. There we go. Isn't that a cute little spider? I like his little eyes. And then I'll put his little web coming down. And then I took, there are two little bat images, and I took and stamped them in pumpkin pie. So we're done with our stamping. Well, actually we're not, but we'll do the, the sentiment last. We've got to do our cat and our little sentiment there. And okay, now we're going to put our card together, or our card front. So we're going to take a brad. We can get rid of this stamp mat. And I couldn't find my smaller brads, so these are retired brads, but it's okay because we're going to cover them up. They're kind of copper colored. So we're going to run that brad through, and I'm going to sneeze real big here in a minute. So that now we can just do our whirly bird there. And we're going to put it right on the card front. And to do that, I'm using the foam adhesive strips. These are very, have dimension to them. They're really good for shaker cards. They work great for this. You could probably do Stampin' Dimensionals. You just want to get enough height so that your wheel isn't impeded by the papers being too close. So I'm just cutting these strips and putting them along the edge. And I think I'm going to put one right here because I don't think it's necessary, but I can kind of feel on my sample that it would be nice to have a little something there. And then I'll just put one tiny one right here. Okay. And we're going to remove the backing. I had to come on early today, gals, because I am seeing a dentist today. I have had a, well, I had a root canal fail on me twice. So I just had the tooth pulled because I think I had infection living in my jaw for years. And now I'm told by my dentist that I have another need for a root canal, and I'm getting a second opinion today and this guy is kind of I think he's like a holistic dentist. I'm driving all the way to Lenexa. If you're from Kansas City, you know that's a little ways from me. But he kind of looks at your whole body and treats things. You know, he's a dentist. He's a DDS. I'm not crazy, but I just want to get a second opinion because I don't need to have a root canal that doesn't work again, and then, you know, I have that infection living in there for who knows how long. So, I don't know. Then if you deal with having an implant, unless you want to just leave the tooth, you know, leave it nothing there. So implants are more expensive than root canals. Okay, guys, now what I'm doing is I've taken this strip of 4 1/4 inch basic white by a 1/2 inch, and I want it to have the same stitched edging as I have along here. You probably can't see it very well. Maybe you can see here where there's the little stitched edge. I just wanted it to match this because I'm silly. I don't know that it's necessary to have it match, but I thought it would be a nice touch. So this is my sentiment strip, so I'm just going to run it through. Anyway, I've had to wait 3 weeks to get in to see this dentist, and I had to answer questionnaires about my whole body health. I'm really anxious to see how this goes. Oh, my tape just pulled off on the paper. That's going to make me unhappy, y'all. Let me cut a piece. So I'll let you know next Monday what I thought. We'll try this again. And this time I won't put the tape on the part that that shows. I just didn't want it to shift and have my lines be crooked. Sometimes our white will do that just because it has a special coating on it to accept ink well. Our basic white cardstock is designed and developed to give a really crisp image. It's a high quality, they would call it a high quality cardstock. made for stamping and all that coloring on. Okay, there we blow. Now I want to stamp my sentiment, and I'm doing that in pumpkin pie. And I'm just using the It's Halloween sentiment from the set. I'll have a list of all the supplies I used in today's project here on the post when I get done here. Isn't that a cute font? Really cute. Okay, now I'm going to place that woo, on my card front, and I'm just going to use some adhesive glue for it so it just really sticks well. I mean some liquid glue. It's all adhesive glue. I'm going to put it down here. I'll raise it up a little bit because we got to have his little tail hanging down. Got to have enough room for that. There we go. Now I'm going to stamp my cat with my Stamparatus. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm going to use my tape too, is because he has such a big solid area, and I really want that ink to cover everything. You know, sometimes when you're doing a solid, here's one that I was working on before, and I didn't use my Stamparatus. You can see there's a little section. It's okay. I would still use this image, but if I had had it on my Stamparatus, I could have inked it again. I could have inked it twice and fix that. That's the beauty of it. Stamp placement tool. I'm using pumpkin pie ink. And that did a good job, so we don't need to redo it. Whoops. I'm going to put this here to keep my grid paper clean. Okay, so now I'm just going to fussy cut my little kitty cat out real fast. I should have done this ahead of time because I know how boring it is to watch people do this. But he's pretty easy to cut. I could have cut him out of a circle die or, used a circle die to cut him out. But he is made so that he hangs over. Oh, you can have him hang over the pumpkin edge or the broom handle. And I'm going to have him hang over my little sentiment tag. So that's why I'm cutting him out. So when you're fussy cutting, remember to turn the paper and not your scissors, and you kind of get a cleaner cut. Hi, Kathy. I don't blame you for dozing. It's a dozing kind of day. kind of rainy and dreary here in KC. Not too cold though. I think it's warmer today than it was yesterday. Okay, there's our little kitty. Our little fat cat. You had knee surgery this week. Are you home? Or this morning? I imagine you are dozing. You got the good stuff. Hope you're okay, girl. All right, I'm going to just set our little fat cat on here. Reminds me of Garfield the cat. I'm gluing him on with some liquid glue. And that is the card. We're going to add some little stars, and those are also part of the Give It a Whirl dies. There's 2 sets of stars. I'm just going to put 3 on my card. And I punched those out of crushed curry. And I'm going to put this big star right over top of the Brad. It's kind of fun because then the star kind of goes around. As you twirl it, the star also goes around. Isn't that cute? And then the other 2, I am just going to put right on the front. So that is the card. Now, if we wanted to, I'm going to have a perfect Halloween in the middle, in the inside of the card. So let's use one of these. And I think I'm going to put it in the black and then add some bats around it. Oh, that was lovely. My ink pad just went upside down on my table. There we go. I think I have a little, get rid of that so I don't get black ink all over everything. Alrighty. Now let's put a few of these little bats, I think, around our sentiment. That'd be cute. So I'm going to do that in the pumpkin pie. There we go. Isn't that cute? So that is our little interactive card. We used, like I said, I will list the products used just as soon as I get off here, but the main things we used were the Clever Cat stamp set, and that is in our holiday mini catalog, and then the Give It a Whirl dies, which is in our annual catalog. It's in the very back of the annual catalog. So thanks for joining me this morning. Kathy, I hope you recover nicely. I'll be praying for you. And I will see you all next Monday. You all have a great rest of your day, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.